Welcome back, and thank you for joining me on a garden episode. I'm going to start this week indoors. I've got a couple of different things I've done over the past week in the garden. March and April are my busiest times usually because it's getting everything started. But over here is the onions that I've separated. I still have not separated this last batch of shallots. I will be doing that soon. But these are all the onions that are for me. One of these trays will be going to my mother. This one is my yellow onions, and these two are red and shallots. In the back there, one of the things that will happen when you use your own composting is that you will have seeds that have been in the bins that will sprout. That's a melon seed. I don't know what it is. It's not going to make it, obviously. It's not time in my zone for me to start any type of melon or cucumber. But I just thought that was funny, and I haven't removed that. Over here, I did something different this year. What I'm going to try this year is instead of taking slips off immediately, I'm just going to leave the whole sweet potato with the slips. I put it over here for now. Once they get to a certain height, I'm going to move them to where the light is farther away to kind of stop them from stretching so much. Over here, I reorganized a little bit. All my lower plants, ones that I really don't want to start reaching for the light and getting too tall, like the mint, the lavender, the rosemary, I've left over here, and the lights are really close to them, and as they grow, then I'll move it. But I'm trying to encourage these to get stronger, grow more leaves. And over here is the lettuce. Now, I did take it off the heat mat much sooner than I would have any of my other ones because they are cool weather, and I didn't know if keeping the seedlings on the heat would affect it in any way, trying to bolt if it was too warm. Now, the bolting issue was the reason why I did get a fan. So I have this fan back here, and it's blowing air all over. It rotates. It did cool down because my temperatures inside were getting up to 77. So it cooled it down to about 72 because I thought 77 was too high to have my lettuce starts. Down here, I have my overwintered peppers. So in the earlier part of the video, you watched how I changed out the soil in them, gave them a refresher, gave them some fertilizer. So it's been about a week or so, and I have some leaves on them, and the leaves definitely look greener, but I've got all 7 containers arranged around here. The one that I was mentioning I was concerned about, it's still getting green, getting brown. So this one I don't think is going to come back. The plant itself does look a bit greener than it did before. So far there hasn't been much change in them, which is good considering they didn't get browner. So hopefully they will continue to get better, continue to get greener, and start to sprout some new life. And then down here is just the aloe and the corn plant. Soil down here is still damp, not as wet, so I'm going to give it another week. I'm not going to water that because I don't want it to get rot. And we're back over here to my shelves. My taller peppers that I started, my hot peppers that I started, I have moved them down to the second level so that I don't have to worry about moving my lights too much for the ones that I want to keep the light closer to. Everybody's doing well, and probably by the end of the month I will change them out of the containers that they are currently in. Potatoes this year I've had more success with. So all of them on the purple have sprouts. So these two have some sprouts coming up. And then 2, I actually no, all of the orange ones have sprouts as well too. So this one has a sprout over here, and this one has sprouts on the sides. And this one has sprouts back here. So all of the sweet potatoes are sprouting, which for me is good because I had such a problem with sweet potatoes. So let's pray for no labeling issues and I can have some orange sweet potatoes this year. And then finally, indoors, these are my sweet peppers. It looks like my multi-pack of bell peppers are sprouting. The ones that are second from the back, they are sprouting. And the ones in this tray are sprouting. And then back there, my super hots, both mystery ones sprouted, and all 4 orange. I'll be moving these out soon as they have broken the soil. And again, I don't want to expose them to heat too long, but everything down here is looking pretty good as well too. So I decided that I wanted to add in another garden bed, mostly because I wanted to grow as many onions as possible and didn't have the space. So I ordered this off of Amazon. It was like $55. It's 2x4. And in the bottom half, I have my unbroken down compost and leaves. I threw some fertilizer, some bone meal, and then I'm going to cover it with just regular raised bed soil. I'm not going to make my normal mixed, but I am going to amend the raised bed soil with some bone meal as well and some additional fertilizer. So I stopped just about halfway filling it, and that's what it looks like now. And when I come back, I will show what it looks like finished. So this is what the bin looks like once it's all completed and filled. I try to leave a little space between the soil and the top so that when I put the mulch down, it doesn't just fall over the sides. But in a little bit, about a month, I'll be planting onions here. We've got some nice weather days here in New Jersey, so today I was outside making some updates to the outdoor compost. So all of the compost that was in this first bin, I've moved over to the middle bin to let it break down some more. It definitely needed some more water added to it, so I'm just gonna let it rain. I didn't touch this one, but in this bin right now, I have a layer of shopping bags or grocery bags. Then we cleaned out the chicken coop, so that's all the chicken bedding and poop. And then I have just some cardboard here. So I'm gonna, as the season goes, I'm just gonna take what's over here and bring it here as I need space, and then probably be able to use this next year. Out here in the bed with the overwintered garlic, I do notice that there are some browning of the tips and some spots where it looks to have died. I'm not going to do much to this garlic. It's still pretty green given that it was covered in snow just a couple weeks ago. So all I'm going to do is let this bed continue to do what it's doing. I'm hesitant to water it because we still have some freezing days. But once we're out of the super cold nights, going below freezing, I am going to give this a water and a little bit more fertilizer. And prepping the garden for what's going to come in the spring. So this is going to be where I put my potatoes. I'm doing them in 20-gallon grow bags, but I don't want to have to fight the weeds. So I'm putting cardboard down, and I will mulch this and then put the bags on top. Unfortunately, the wind picked up and the audio for this clip was lost. So my plan along here is to mulch this area as well. I just want to suppress the weeds and put the pineapple plants right next to where the lettuce starts are going to be going in the spring. That way they are out of the way and I don't have to worry about mowing this area. So that's the plan for over here. Over here next to the bench that was cut in half last year, I am going to mulch over as well and place the overwintered peppers at this end of the bench. And with that, this completes my garden update. Thank you for sticking with me till the end. I do hope you've enjoyed the content, and I hope to see you again on the next video.